Milltown Credit Union, your reliable alternative to traditional banks. How are you? Good afternoon. Today is Monday, December 30th. We are already bringing you closer to the end of the year, the last week of 2024. And these are some of the most important news of the day in the region. In the country, today we also have a very nice report from Mexico. We begin with the headlines: tragedy in South Korea. A plane full of passengers exploded while it was crowding on the runway. The mystery still remains. They do not know what happened to it. Finally what? If not, well then we are going to tell you a contradiction of Donald Trump, who before spoke of deporting all immigrants almost without any exception. Now he is backing out. We tell you who he would not deport, or on the contrary, who he would welcome to this country. Half a century of toys from Mexico, from Guanajuato to be more exact. They give us a nice story of a man who has literally been making toys for half a century. Wooden is also news. We have the sports summary of the highlights of the year 2024. Manuel Luengo has a very good report for us. We are also going to tell you about the satellites that SpaceX is sending into space to connect practically the entire world over the internet, among other news. Well, the causes of the worst plane accident in South Korea remain a mystery, and the investigation to clarify what happened could take days and even months. We warn you that the images we are going to put are quite graphic. This is the moment when the Boeing 737 Raya 800 plane from the Daegu Air Company landed at the Muon International Airport. That is in South Korea. For some reason the landing gear never came out. The plane skidded on the runway pavement until it crashed into the barrier at the end of the runway. The aircraft immediately caught fire in Damas. 179 people died in this tragedy, which in turn left 2 survivors. These are 2 crew members who were extracted from the rear of the ship that was the plane broke away from the rest of the fuselage and avoided catching fire. Among the theories of what could have happened is that a bird would have hit either one of the engines or some part of the plane, which would also have disabled the deployment of the wheels. Donald Trump's crude anti-immigrant campaign seems to contradict what the president-elect now says about receiving potentially tens of thousands of immigrants. After billionaire Elon Musk said that the country needed to continue with the H-1B visa program to literally import highly qualified workers, Trump said that, well, he also agreed. However, many of the same people who supported Donald Trump in his campaign are now criticizing the change of mind, because they say that they elected Donald Trump because he would give Americans the opportunity, and the H-1B visa program does the opposite. During the last campaign, Trump said that he was in favor of giving papers to foreign-born workers only if they graduated from a university in this country. We will see if he will fulfill that. On the other hand, today an appeals court denied Donald Trump's request to overturn the verdict against him for sexual abuse against a woman. This happened in the 90s. This means that Trump will have to pay Carol $5 million. Because Trump is also appealing another verdict against him, in which the court found him guilty, and if he fails to overturn it, he will have to pay that same woman $83 million in this case for damages. A Mexican craftsman with half a century of experience making toys shows us his art and love for tradition. From Mexico, via Expresa TV, Michelle Leyva brings us this nice note. 50 years of experience and 14 national awards support Felipe Hernandez and his wife, who are dedicated to the production of traditional wooden toys. From dolls, cars, acrobats and magic boards, to yo-yos, tops and much more, and I am dedicated to the production of traditional Mexican toys. I have been making this type of toy for approximately 50 years, and well, it is an inheritance that my parents left me, who were also wood craftsmen. And as you can see, this one we have belts, 87 different models of traditional toys, and this one I do the carpentry, and the teacher Sylvia Aguilar, who is my wife, does the decoration and the painting, while Felipe dedicates himself to the carpentry. His wife Sylvia Aguilar is dedicated to making the decoration and the painting of the pieces. A process in which both have the opportunity to leave a little piece of their being and continue spreading the national identity in their 100% Mexican toys. But they are purchased, the design is made. After the design then comes the first cut, assembly and if it gives the proportions that we want well, we continued and we already made several pieces. Remember that Mexican toys are also part of the national identity and are also part of the development of children. That's why I really like making traditional toys. Its purpose is to continue contributing to the development of children in Mexico through traditional toys, as well as to promote support for local artisans, so that their economy improves and their work is recognized. Giselle Ava Noticieros Expressa TV. Thank you very much, Michelle, and before we say goodbye, let's go with other important news from today. Parts of the south of the country are recovering from the hard blow that nature dealt them over the weekend. Around 45 tornadoes touched down in the states of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama and reached Georgia, taking the lives of at least 4 people. SpaceX will continue launching rockets into space tonight, with a cargo of satellites called Starlink, which provide internet service to the most isolated parts of the planet. This year, Elon Musk's company has carried out some 130 missions into space, carrying more than 1,000 satellites. Let us remember these satellites that seek to provide internet and connect practically the entire world. It is a good job. Social networks have been literally having fun with the casual fact that the death of former President Jimmy Carter yesterday, a harsh critic of Donald Trump, will cause the flags in all federal buildings in the country to be at half-mast. This means that on the day of Donald Trump's inauguration as president, the country's capital, among many others, will be in mourning. Let us now move on to sports. This 2024 comes to an end. It has been a year of great achievements, broken records and also unforgettable moments. Manuel Luego brings us the most important exciting news that was seen in the sports world. There was hope, but the reality was that the Seahawks faced an almost impossible task to reach the playoffs, even after their Thursday victory against the Chicago Bears, and so it happened. Sunday's results were not favorable to them and the Commanders beat the Falcons, allowing the Rams to advance to the playoffs, and thus eliminate the Seahawks for the second consecutive year. Despite reaching a record of 10 wins in the regular season, the best of luck for the next season. On the other hand, this 2024 full of emotions comes to an end. The sports agenda of the year was marked by major sporting events such as the Olympic Games in Paris, the Copa America in the United States where Argentina was crowned against a surprising Colombia, the Euro Cup of Nations where a spectacular Spain achieved another title, another Champions League for Real Madrid, the Super Bowl where the Kansas City Chiefs were champions against the San Francisco 49ers, Rafael Nadal's retirement from tennis, the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake, and the Angels Galaxy raising the MLS Cup. These and many more shows captivated the public. However, there were some situations that we hope and long for to be resolved soon, such as the non-participation in the Olympic Games and other competitions in Russia and Belarus, due to the war conflict against Ukraine, as well as the situation in the Gaza Strip between Israel and Palestine, which has undoubtedly generated clashes in different matches this year. We hope and wish that this year, these conflicts that tarnish the beauty of sport will be concluded. Because these were the most important sports news of the week, we want to wish the average desirable audience a happy end of the year, and for Jamie Mender News, Manuel Luengo. Well, thank you very much to Manuel, of course, and now we will see how the weather forecast is for this end of the year and the beginning of the next, and the truth is that the year 2025 does not start well. Well, let's say that for the next few days tomorrow, literally the last day of the year, so we're going to have a little bit mixed around there. Not so much rain, although the sun will possibly come out. But it will be good the last time we see the sun for a while. Because the rest of the days the persistent rain continues. It won't be light drizzle. It won't be too many gales, there are no weather warnings. But what is certain is that the copious rain and the gray days will stay for the rest of the week. On the other hand, we're going to look on the positive side. The temperatures are not necessarily too low for the next few days. In fact, they can reach up to 50 already for the weekend. Not all is lost. This is the information for today. Thank you for tuning in. Until tomorrow, and may the news not die. The news was brought to you today by Milltown Credit Union, your reliable alternative to traditional banks. Comcast, committed to the advancement of digital equity in Washington for more than 10 years.